What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan, and this is Minus the Gym. And a different video for you this week than what I had planned. You see, I got an awesome comment on last week's video. I forget her name. I think it was Layla or Lila, something like that. And she said, hey, great routine, great tutorial, but do you have any videos about how to do a complete warm-up for like a full calisthenics workout? And I thought I'd already made that, but it turns out I had only made a handstand warm-up routine video, not a general warm-up. So that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be the best calisthenics warm-up routine for your workout. All right, you'll be able to tailor it to the workout you are doing. Okay, so here's the deal. The best warm-up is going to have 3 parts to it. And those 3 parts are blood flow, mobility, and drills. Now that might sound like a lot just for a warm-up routine, but trust me, it's not that much. You can fly through it pretty quick. I'd say in about 5 to 10 minutes flat. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this, like what it means, what exercises I recommend, and how to tailor it to your workout. So first, with blood flow, all that means is we're getting our heart rate up, all right? Getting our blood flowing through our body to our skeletal muscles and to the connective tissue in our joints. And the way to do that is with your favorite calisthenics cardio exercise, whatever it may be, for about 60 seconds. All right, I recommend a minimum of 60 seconds, but some people who are more advanced might need to go 90 or maybe 2 minutes. But that's about it, just enough time to get your heart rate up and then move on. The exercises I like to use, my default exercise is jumping jacks. I love jumping jacks because you can do them standing. You don't have to drop to the floor. And they get your shoulders and your hips moving, and they get my heart rate up pretty quick, within about a minute, minute and a half. But you can do any calisthenics cardio exercise you want. This could be, mountain climbers or burpees if you really want to go intense. Or it could be something like high knees. I use high knees quite a bit too. Any calisthenics cardio exercise you want for 60 seconds just to get your heart rate up. And then you move right into mobility. Now, for the mobility portion, we're going to focus on a series of mobility exercises and one basic body weight exercise to really warm up the whole body. And we want to focus on the wrists and the shoulder complex, especially for the upper body. And we also want to make sure we are hitting the whole lower body, moving our hips, our knees, and our ankles. So I like to start off with wrist circles. And I typically do these with my hands clasped together, and I just make a circular motion. I do this for about 30 to 60 seconds, just long enough to warm up the wrist joint. But you can also do these with your hands separated if you want. It works just as well. And then at the end of the wrist circles, I drop down to the floor and I do a wrist stretch. All right, this is an extension stretch with your fingers pointed back towards your knees. So you're kneeling on the floor, your fingers are facing backwards towards your knees. And another thing I do is I gently shift my weight backwards, like my shoulders are moving kind of towards my fingertips, and that will really create a deep stretch in the wrists. And I do this for at least 30 seconds as well. While I'm down there on the floor, I also do cat-cow, just 10 reps, switching between cat pose and cow pose. And the reason why I do this is because it's great for spinal mobility. Okay, you're basically just switching between spinal flexion and spinal extension. And this also at the same time is warming up the muscles around your shoulder blades, right? Your scapular muscles. After the cat-cow, I stand back up and I warm up the shoulders more. And I do that with 2 exercises. First is shoulder circles. And I do these by making a sort of T shape by putting my arms out to the sides and making a small circular motion. And I do this in both directions, all right? So I start off by moving my shoulders backwards, doing a backward circular motion for about 30 seconds. And then I switch to the forward circular motion for another 30 seconds. And another thing I want to mention is when you're doing these shoulder circles, it's good to kind of change up the size of the circles. So start off with small circles and gradually make them larger circles. And you can even shrink them back down. And that's going to really help warm up all the muscles around your shoulder socket, like your internal and external rotators, muscles of your upper back, and more. And then I finish off the upper body with arm swings. Okay, I do 10 reps, 5 forwards, 5 backwards. And basically what you're doing is just swinging your arm gently in a full circle, all right, full range of motion. And again, I do 5 forwards, 5 backwards, so 10, and I do that on both sides. Okay, at this point, your upper body should be feeling pretty warmed up. So we're gonna do one big lower body exercise. And this is a basic body weight movement, but we're gonna combine it with another movement, all right? We're gonna do a full body weight squat with calf raise. And what this is gonna do is, to do the squat, we're gonna be moving at the hips, and we're gonna be bending at the knees and squatting down. We're gonna be activating all the muscles of the thighs to press back up, the glutes. But we're also going to do a calf raise at the top of the movement. This is going to work our calves and get our ankle joint really moving. So we are literally warming up the entire lower body with just one exercise. This is a full bend and lift, and you got the calf raise in there, and it hits everything. And we're going to do 10 slow and controlled reps of these deep squats with calf raise. All right, so here's the thing. At this point, you've got your blood flowing, you did a bunch of mobility exercises, okay, your upper body and lower body are pretty warmed up. And if the workout you're going to be doing has no particular focus, meaning like maybe it's just an around the world kind of circuit, you're going to be doing an even amount of push, pull, bend and lift, hinge, then at this point you can just jump into your workout. You should be plenty warmed up to get started. But if you're going to be doing a very specific workout, maybe you're going to be focusing on handstands, or you're going to be centering your workout around downward vertical pushing like LSIT and dips, then you're going to want to do that third part, which is drills. So let's use those two examples, like handstands or LSITs. If my workout's going to be focused on the handstand, I'm going to use handstand regressions and other mobility exercises for my drills. And I guess a good example of that would be this one drill that I do when I'm doing my handstand workout. I do a frog stand, which is actually the first progression I recommend when you're learning the handstand, and I turn it into a headstand. And then once I get up fully extended into the headstand, I lower back down slowly and return to frog stand. And I go back and forth. And the reason why I really like this is because the frog stand is really activating the muscles around my upper back, like around the scapula. All right, I'm really pushing into the floor. It's challenging my wrists and forearms. But then when I get into headstand, now it's really engaging my core. I'm engaging posterior pelvic tilt, and I'm flexing the muscles in my thighs, really getting a feel for the core and lower body part of being inverted. So it's like separating my body into two halves and giving me a taste of what handstand is going to be like. So I would probably do one set of that drill and then follow it up with something on the wall, like maybe a chest to wall handstand, which I feel is the better wall handstand variation. So I would do one set of that and then be ready to jump into my workout. Now, what if I was going to do something like I mentioned, LSITs? So an LSIT focused workout, maybe some dips, some downward vertical pushing. In that case, my drills would probably be focused around scapular depression, because that is the scapular movement that I'll be doing a lot of in my workout. So I would get on my dip station or whatever I'm using, and I would do a support hold, right? And I would probably do reps of like scapular dips to really engage the parascapular muscles and fire them and engage them in scapular depression to get ready for that workout. And then for my next drill, just after one set of that, I would move on to probably an LSIT regression, maybe like the floor assisted LSIT, and hold that for near max time before I dive into my skill work and really start working on skills and strength. All right, I hope that all makes sense, but really all you need to remember is those three parts to a good warm-up: blood flow, mobility, and if you're doing a skill-focused workout, then drills. And then boom, you're ready to get started. And it doesn't have to take long. I'd say max around 10 minutes for your warm-up is really good. And just so you guys know I'm guilty of like cutting my warm-up short. I fully admit that. I am notorious for just hurrying my warm-up because I want to get into my workout. But I will say that whenever I do take the time to really warm up, then those are the best workouts. That's when I perform the best and I make the most progress in my workouts. So definitely don't skip the warm-up. Don't make that mistake like I do sometimes. Really warm up, give this a shot, try to tailor it to your workouts with those drills, all right, if you're going to be doing any kind of skill-focused workout. And if you want, change up the mobility exercises. If there's favorites of yours that focus on the shoulders or the hips, go for it. Do whatever mobility you want. Just make sure you're really warming up the upper and lower body. I also want to mention really quick, today is Father's Day. I'm shooting this on Father's Day here in the US. So for any of you guys watching this who's a dad like me, then happy Father's Day. I hope it's an awesome day for you. If you found the video helpful, or you just, I don't know, you're glad I made it, please drop a like. That really helps me out. It seems to tell YouTube that it's a good video and they recommend it to more people. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. All right, I'm all about body weight fitness and healthy eating. And speaking of healthy eating, I'm about to go enjoy a nice bowl of cereal because lately I'm just craving cereal for some reason. And this is a healthy cereal. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of muesli, but I've been hooked on it lately. It's basically just like grains, nuts and seeds, and fruit. You know, some dried fruit and some fresh fruit. And it is absolutely delicious. In fact, I'm thinking about making a whole video about muesli. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm just sort of rambling at this point. So I will see you in the next video.